50 years ago, Kiss released their fourth album and their first live album, Alive, and it catapulted them to fame. Here's my review. Hello, welcome to Music and Stuff. And yes, as I said in the cold opening, thank Kiss, it's Friday, and today I am reviewing the album Kiss Alive. And I meant to put this album out last week, and for one reason or another it didn't happen. I've been very, very busy, but it was supposed to go out to commemorate the 50th anniversary, which was on September the 10th, because it was released on September the 10th, 1975. But yeah, it didn't happen. I'm not going to make excuses. I've just been very, very busy. But yeah, so it was their fourth album. And so the first album, Kiss, which was fantastic, obviously. And their second album, Hotter Than Hell. And their third album, Dressed to Kill, weren't commercially hugely successful, has to be said. And they're with Casablanca Records, and I think the story goes that they were told, you've got to, if your next album doesn't do well, then you're out, But Kiss were aware that although people weren't buying the albums, they were turning up to the concerts. So someone decided, I'm sure Paul Stanley will take the credit, whether it's him or not, I don't know, someone decided to record a live album. And it was a big gamble because live albums didn't really sell at the time. And it was a double album as well. But they did it, and it exploded. It absolutely catapulted them to fame, and of course they followed it up with Destroyer, and it just went from there. But yeah, so it was recorded apparently over 4 or 5 nights. I've got it here written down. Give me a second. But it wasn't recorded all in one concert. Contrary to how it kind of sounds like it is. I don't quite know when the different ones are. Maybe it's each side, there's 4 sides, obviously a double album. Maybe each side was a separate one or something, I don't know. But it was recorded in Detroit, Michigan, Cleveland, Ohio, Wildwood, New Jersey, and Davenport, Iowa, on May 16th, June 21st, July 20th, and 23rd, 1975. Yeah. It's great. It's a good little album. I'm not going to really talk about every song separately because I do those on the album reviews. But so you had. I've never owned the vinyl of this. Never seen it. I've only ever had the CD. And it's not the first copy of this that I had either. I had the one with the German logo with the backwards Z's, I should say, for S's. And so track 1 was Juice. Great song to kick off with. Then you had Strutter again, banging. Got to Choose. Yeah, you don't hear that much now, but back then when they only had 3 albums worth of material to choose from, superb. Hotter Than Hell, one of my least favourite of the classic era's songs, I have to say. I've made no secret of that. Look at my Hotter Than Hell video. Firehouse, superb. Nothing to Lose. If you like songs about, then that's the song for you. Come On and Love Me, absolute banger of a track. Come On and Love Me, one of Kiss's finest songs. Then Parasite, which was an Ace Frehley track, which I probably mentioned on the Hotter Than Hell review. And then She, and they do sort of a slightly extended version of She on here. Watching You. So on my Hotter Than Hell review, I would have said that it was one of the last albums that I actually owned. So a lot of these songs I'd only ever heard like live versions or like the versions on double platinum or whatever, but mostly it was just live ones. So it was interesting hearing the studio versions again. 100,000 Years. Now, this is where I get the hate in the comments. So 100,000 Years, absolutely superb Kiss track from their debut album, which is probably my favourite album. Absolutely banging track, 100,000 Years. And I've seen them live, I saw them in '96 when they got back with the original lineup, and they did 100,000 Years. I can't remember if they did it when I saw them in 2010, or was it 2010 or 2013, with the Sonic Boom tour. I can't remember if they did 100,000 Years or not then, but they definitely did it in '96 because that album's actually been released off the Soundboard range at Donington, Monsters of Rock, before it was called Download. Where was I going with this? Yeah, 100,000 Years. So, when you're at the show, all the stuff with the drum solo and the phasers, and Paul Stanley coming out and do you feel right? All that stuff. Fantastic. When you're there. This is the only real low point of the album for me, personally. It drags on a bit. If you're not actually there, then that can get a bit kind of, you know. But that's my only criticism of Alive, I think. Well, I haven't finished yet, but that's the biggest thing for me, and that's not a deal breaker. Do you know what I'm saying? I can put up with it. It's not like I think, oh, I can't listen to this anymore. I still do, but it's one of those things where it's better in the moment. Black Diamond, one of my all-time favourite Kiss tracks. Superb version when they used to do it live. Then it kind of fades out. I think that was when they did their unofficial ending. I might be wrong, but it's hard to tell because the album does fade. It was the end of side 3, obviously. Rock Bottom. I love the fact that they still did the acoustic guitar intro. Although it wasn't played on acoustic, it was played on electric. One of my favourite pieces of instrumental music, I guess. I learned to play that years ago when I was at school and submitted it for a piece of music coursework. And pretended it was mine because I thought, wow, the music teacher doesn't really know much about Kiss. And I'm not going to know this obscure album track from an album in the 70s. So yeah, so I completely ripped off Rock Bottom. Cold Gin, standard Ace Frehley written song. Rock and Roll All Night. Of course, you can't have a Kiss concert without Rock and Roll All Night. Unless it's Alive too. And then finishing with Let Me Go, Rock and Roll. Produced and engineered by Eddie Kramer, of course. It's great artwork. I don't know much about the artwork. I should have looked that up. But these guys, famous. I think there was like a hunt for them or something recently. If I can find it, I'm sure these guys like recreated it, or they met up or something, or they still had that poster. I'll see if I can find that. But yeah, so this artwork I was going to look up, wasn't I? There's a little bit of controversy, I think. Is it fair to say? Oh, I'll come back to that. Right. That's the music. No, I've done that bit. I can't find it now. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it wasn't actually filmed live on the stage at either of the concerts. It was a staged photo shoot. So, some controversy, because it's not a 100% live album. There were many overdubs in the studio later for whether it was vocal errors or guitar being slightly flat or whatever. And some people say it's bad because they did that, but some people say, well, that's to make the album good. It's not an accurate documentation of the shows. It's put out for people to stick on their record players and enjoy later on at home as a souvenir. And I tend to be fine with that. I'm happy with it. But what's interesting is that Peter Criss gets a lot of flack from other members of the band and stuff for not being the best drummer and all the rest of it. But legend has it that Peter Criss's drum tracks were the only things that were not altered in the production. They were as they were recorded. So that's interesting. Respect to Peter Criss, the Catman. So yeah, I don't really know how to rate. I think when I'm going to rate the live albums, I'm going to rate them against each other. So that they're not going against the other studio albums, because a lot of the studio albums are going on the song quality and stuff, and these are songs that are on other albums. But I am going to give Kiss Alive 9 out of 10. And that's motorbike going past. And that's only a 9 out of 10 because of what I said about 100,000 years. And I do kind of wish there was a couple more songs on there. I do understand, length of time available and stuff like that. Let Me Know is one of my favourite Kiss songs. I'd have loved to sing that. Heard that on here. But it's not a big deal. I think 9 out of 10 is alright. It is what it is. So that's Kiss Alive for the 50th anniversary. A week late. Well, I think September the 10th, 2025 would have been a busy day for me to try and drop a video anyway, to be fair. There's a lot of other stuff going on that day. But yeah, there you go. Kiss Alive, 9 out of 10. Absolute banger. So I'm not sure what I'm doing next. I can't remember. I haven't got my list with me. But whatever it is. I'm doing the solo albums. One by one. So I think it's going to be Peter Criss. Peter Criss's solo album next. But yeah, watch this space and go on. You should do this early, you know. Thanks for watching this video. I really hope you're enjoying it. If you are, maybe you could just help out a small channel by pressing the like button, sharing it to your friends, hit the subscribe button and the alarm notification bell so you can keep up to date with my new videos, and just generally just watching them. It all helps. I'm just a small creator just trying to find my way in this YouTube metropolis. If you really want to help out as well, there's a link to my Patreon in the description and in my About section. So again, thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Yeah, exactly. See? So yeah, Peter Criss's solo album, which I have actually recorded an album ranking the solo albums. If I can be bothered, I'll put a link to it in the top corner. Put the thingy there. But otherwise, yeah, I'm going to see you in the next one. Love you and leave you. See what I did there? Thanks for watching. Catch you later, Bill and Ted. What it is I need is like a 20-second clip that I can put at the end of each video. You know how other YouTubers do it? Whether I have at the end of a video like 4 things on the screen, as like and subscribe, that kind of stuff. I just need something like that, but I don't know what to put.